What is up, rockers of the Rock Nation? This is your fellow rocker here, Rockerman X, and here we are, right here, back with another video with my WWE Money in the Bank 2016 pay-per-view results and review video. So, yeah. Honestly, I honestly don't know what to say about this pay-per-view. I mean, overall, this pay-per-view, except for, I want to say, 4 matches. Definitely 4 matches were, so I mean, the pre-show and the other 4 matches, so 6 matches out of 10 just seem like really, really bad filler, at least to me. I'm not saying it was a terrible pay-per-view, but I'm not saying it was I want to say it was an alright pay-per-view, at least to me. Like, I popped so much last night, but that's for various different reasons throughout the night, and not just, like, popped marked, whatever you want to say, but, you know, whatever. The point of it is, you know, anyway, on with my, whatever, review, but I'll talk more about it as it goes on. We got, on the kickoff show, the first match, the Golden Truth versus Breezango. And honestly, again, don't know what to really say about this match. I thought it was a good match for a gimmicky match where, you know, Tyler Breeze and Fandango got freaking sunburnt all to hell or whatever. Obviously, that was some sort of makeup, most likely, but, you know, or they got sunburned or tanned really bad or whatever. I'm not for sure, but whatever. You know, I thought it was a good match for that gimmicky style match where they had to, like, act more than what they usually would have to act when they got hurt, because they had to add extra pain to it, unless they really did get sunburnt, which you never know. But, you know, and there was back and forth in this match for the most part. Granted, the Golden Truth dominated most of the match, but there was some back and forth in it at least, and, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I liked the match. It was funny, I liked it. So, yeah, the Golden Truth won. Simple as that. And now on to the next match, the Lucha Dragons versus Dudley Boyz. I did not get to see this match, but from what I know, the Lucha Dragons won. So, yeah, the Lucha Dragons pick up the win, and there you go for that match. Now, moving on to the first match on the main card, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship match, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with that. The New Day, Enzo and Big Cass, Gallows and Anderson, and the Vaudevillians. Now, as I've already said, I was glad if anyone other than the Vaudevillians won this. I feel like, again, if they had a better gimmick and stuff, I think they would be a lot better tag team. I'm not saying they can't wrestle, or I'm not saying they don't have the ability to wrestle or whatever. I just feel like they had a better gimmick, they'd be a better tag team. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But, yeah, but this match was a hell of a way to kick off the pay-per-view. I'm not going to lie about that. I mean, you start all... I feel like, though, the flow of the show, because of this match, though, being first, was kind of boring. As, like, they start off with this, and then, as their way went through, they decided, oh, you know, let's have some other filler match, you know. I just feel like there's too much filler this whole pay-per-view. And the filler just seemed to drag on really, really slow whenever there was filler. Again, I'm not saying the pay-per-view is bad, but whatever. But anyway, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, you know, again, I was happy if anyone won other than the Vaudevillains. You know, this match was a hell of a match. You had your Enzo and Cass spots. You had your Gallows and Anderson moments. You had your New Day moments. You know, and it was plenty of back and forth all the way through. I mean, really, it was back and forth. You know, neither team really had a distinct advantage over the other. And then when it all just came out into a big brawls or all that shit, you know, it was really a damn good match, especially to me. Ultimately, though, I still think Enzo and Cass should have won. But, on the bright side, with the New Day winning, you know, again, I'm going to assume they're going to keep the belts on them until either Battleground or SummerSlam, just so they have that full year as champion. And that's how I'm going to see it. They're trying to make them go full year as tag champs at least. So before they end up giving the belts up to the New Day, or before I think they're going to keep the New Day on it, belts on the New Day for. Let me tell you, if they're going to get rid of the New Day belts, if they're going to have New Day drop the belts, I feel like if they're going to have them drop the belts, it's not going to be until SummerSlam at the least. And chances are it's going to be against Enzo and Cass. Because from the looks of it, Enzo and Cass are going to be starting this whole tag team feud with the New Day. And it's either going to happen, if Enzo and Cass are going to win the belts, it's either probably going to be a Battleground or SummerSlam. But that's really what I see coming out of all of this. I really do. Is that feud right there out of this whole Fatal 4-Way tag match. I mean, because it seems like the Vaudevillians are going to go in the back burner now. It seems like Gallows and Anderson, it seems like they're going to go in the back burner a little bit. Mainly because, AJ Styles and Cena. And again, why would be the point of them having the tag titles if AJ doesn't have the world title? But that's all I'm going to say that. But the New Day won. I was happy for that. So, yeah, New Day are still your WWE Tag Team Champions. Now, on to probably, I want to say, the most boringest match. No, actually, it's probably two. I could say it's probably boring. But this match right here, it's been going on for about 3 months now, off and on, throughout Raw, throughout SmackDown, throughout the pay-per-views. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. And I really don't know what to say. Again, this match was just a filler match that just seemed to be like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. This filler match just seemed really boring. I'm not saying it was bad, but it just seemed boring to me. And it was a good pay-per-view. I'm just like, out of all of it, I'm just like, the fuck? I don't know. I really don't want to tell you about so much. I liked it, Ziggler versus Corbin. They have good matches. I'm not saying they don't. But I feel like they've just been over-pounding it into us. It's like, oh, Ziggler versus Corbin. Oh, yeah, whatever. I feel like they've been over-pounding it. I feel like they've really been over-driving it lately. Maybe this is how I feel. If others feel the same way, I don't know. But, again, I'm not saying it was a bad match. However, I mean, it was back and forth. It was all that good shit, so, yeah. But, again, even the crowd there is chanting boring, so that would obviously has to say something. But, yeah. Baron Corbin picked the win. That's all I gotta say. Now, on to the next match. We got the Divas Tag Team match, which shouldn't have even been a tag team match to begin with. Either Becky Lynch or Natalya should have got the Women's Championship opportunity. But it was a tag team match instead, a match that no one really wanted to see. So, we had Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. And again, I'm not saying this match is terrible. I'm not saying this match is bad. My only goddamn question... Well, I got two questions because of this match. Again, this match was back and forth. It was really good. I wouldn't say it was really good, but it was decent. It was a decent tag team match for women's. But here's the thing. One, did Dana Brooke ever get tagged in? I do not think throughout that whole match Dana Brooke was ever tagged in, but maybe once. And that was just maybe for a minute. I'm not for sure, but I don't even think... But ultimately, I don't think she's ever tagged in. I really don't think Dana Brooke was ever tagged in that whole entire match. And Charlotte was in the ring pretty much the majority of the time. And then, two. What the fuck was this? Did Natalya turn heel or something? I mean, after the whole headbutt from Becky to Natalya or whatever it was, whatever actually happened, I don't know. I only know if someone got pushed and Becky got pushed at Natalya or something. I don't know. Which I do kind of feel bad for Becky, only because it feels like with every tag team partner she has, she always gets stabbed in the back some way, some form. I mean, look at PCB. That's kind of proof right there. But, no. What happened though? Did Natalya actually turn heel? That's all I'm wondering. I just want to know if she turned heel or not, or if that was just one of those out of character moments that they wanted her to do or something. I don't know. It just seemed for her to really attack Becky, to me, just seemed weird and out of place and out of character for Natalya. I don't know. You guys decide. You guys seen it. You guys decide on what that actually was. But ultimately, though, Charlotte and Dana Brooke, being their old cheating self, picked up the win. And I still swear Charlotte needs to be her own fucking person and stop getting help from people. First it was her goddamn father, Ric Flair, and now it's fucking Dana Brooke. And this needs to stop. It's fucking bullshit. Let her be her own character. Let her stop getting help from people to help her win. Especially in matches that don't fucking matter. I can understand if it was... I mean, again, I understand if it's like a women's championship match and that shit happened. Okay, I can perfectly understand that. But getting help to win in a fucking tag team match. I understand she's your tag team partner. But this happens constantly. Whether it's a tag team match, or a women's championship match, or even the fucking singles match, not for the title. I don't know. I'm not hating on any of these women. You know, I'm pretty sure all of them can fight. All of them can wrestle, other than fucking Dana Brooke. Because you don't see her wrestle half the time. But the point of it is, yeah, Charlotte and Dana Brooke picked up the win. Done, simple as that. Now, moving on to the next one. We got Apollo Crews versus Sheamus. And I felt like this match was a good match. But it felt more like a Raw or SmackDown caliber match. Not really a pay-per-view hyped up. It really didn't feel like a pay-per-view hype match. It really didn't. Granted, a lot of these Fairland matches didn't seem like a pay-per-view hype Again, literally all but the first match, the Money in the Bank, Cena vs. Styles, and the World Heavyweight Championship match did not feel like those are the only 4 matches I feel like on this pay-per-view that ultimately felt like a pay-per-view match. I really do. But Apollo Crews vs. Sheamus, it was a good match, it's back and forth, But that ending, though, was basically a roll-up where Sheamus was arguing the referee and Apollo just grabbed Sheamus and rolls him over a roll-up pin. Should have seen it coming. It was a roll-up pin. Hey, not much you can do. But Apollo Crews won, and I'm kind of happy for that, because I do like Apollo Crews. He really is a hell of an athlete. So yeah, but Apollo Crews won. Simple as that. Really did not feel like a pay-per-view match, as most of these didn't. But hey, what are you gonna do about it? Now, moving on to the second match of the night that was highly anticipated. Actually felt like a pay-per-view match. John Cena versus AJ Styles, and I don't care what people say. To be fair, I felt like this was a perfect match for both of them. Because it wasn't too fast-paced or too slow-paced. Granted, the start was kind of slow, but there's not much you could really expect there. And the ending, I don't know, but it was back and forth between the both of them. And I really do mean this. It was plenty of back and forth between Cena and AJ. Only because, I don't know. Again, it seemed like a perfect match. It wasn't as fast. It wasn't too fast-paced. It wasn't too slow-paced. And for no matter what move the other did to the other, they both had a counter for every time they both had a counter for every move practically, or no matter what happened, each had a way to get out of whatever. And again, I felt like this match was plenty of back and forth, and it was a hell of a match to have around the mid card. Granted, it's weird seeing AJ, Cena, on mid card status, but as I guess we're seeing it's been happening for a while now in Styles. After having him come off this huge main event stuff, drop him down to mid card, it just seems so weird. But again, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. But AJ Styles, as most people said, most likely it's going to happen. AJ Styles did pick up the victory. Granted, the club, Gallows and Anderson did help, but we all knew that was going to happen too in some way, some form, no matter what. So hey, AJ Styles won. Simple as that. And, yeah. Now, moving on to the whole match this pay-per-view is built around. Still say the match should be back on WrestleMania, so it actually means something. But, oh well. The whole premise of this pay-per-view, we have the Money in the Bank ladder match with Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Alberto Del Rio. And this match, I felt like truly, and maybe some people might say otherwise, but I truly felt like this Money in the Bank match was a whole of a hell lot better than last year's Money in the Bank match. Granted, I still think it's stupid that it was only 6 man, not 7 or 8 men like it usually is. But what are you going to do about it? They advertised for 7 man first, and they said, oh, let's get rid of the 7th man and let's just make it 6 man. But I don't know. I guess for the whole dynamic of it, though, the whole dynamic they was going for, alright, it made perfect sense for them to move 7th man, but still. But I did feel like this was a hell of a match. Now, Del Rio got hurt, I feel like, at the end, where he landed, because he looked fucking hurt like a bitch, because literally his foot landed on the rope, and he went flying. Flying backwards, you know, Cesaro getting his nuts on the thing. But seeing that Cesaro uppercut from the top of the ladder, where he just jumped from like, near the top of the ladder to the second rope, Cesaro uppercut, dude, that was a fucking good moment. And at the end, too, just seeing everyone just scratch and claw of each other, and then seeing the whole match from start to finish. And I might actually go back and watch it later. Probably not today, but sometime. Because I don't know, if I won a Money in the Bank match in the recent era, like the past few years, I think. I want to say the past 3 Money in the Bank matches that happened. Maybe I'm mistaken. But I want to say that this Money in the Bank match is one of them. I don't want to say it was the greatest of all time. But it was definitely a good one that you can look back on, and it's memorable. And this really was a memorable, and I feel like this was a memorable Money in the Bank match because of all the action that happened all the way out through it. You know, and fans for this one got pretty much the outcome they wanted. Granted, it was predictable, but I felt like this was a badass match from start to finish. All the action that happened, no matter what happened, we got the outcome we wanted, and that was Dean Ambrose becoming your Mr. Money in the Bank. Bada boom. There you go. I don't know why is this a bada boom, but oh, whatever. Now, again, that was the third match that was the more anticipated. Now, moving on to the next match, we have the United States Championship, Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. And ultimately, I feel like this was the burial for Titus. Granted, it was back and forth between the two. Rusev and Titus back and forth. And it really was up until the end where Rusev finally got the fucking accolade on him. On Titus, and Titus tapped out. But I don't know. Let's see if this feud continues with Titus and Rusev. Let's see where this goes. Let's see if it even continues because of the freaking. We all know the WWE draft is coming up here on the 18th. Well, the 18th of July because 19th when SmackDown goes live. So let's just see what happens. But, yeah. Now, Rusev versus Titus, again, it was a good match, but it just seemed like a Raw or SmackDown title match or a filler match. It was really, and there was only three title matches, because, again, The Miz didn't show up, he was all filming some movie. Why have your title on someone filming a movie? Like, why not have him drop the title? I don't know. But yeah. Let's see if this Rusev versus Titus continues. And again, this felt like a Raw or SmackDown match for the title. Not a pay-per-view hype match. It really didn't to me. Again, Corbin, Dana Brooke, or the Ziggler versus Corbin, the Divas tag, or the women's tag team, sorry, I can't call them Divas anymore. The Apollo Crews Sheamus match and this match, the Rusev vs. Titus match, did not feel like pay-per-view material. Really didn't to me. But again, it's done or with what you're going to do. But Rusev won and is still your United States champion. Now, on to the main event of the night, the last match that was hype. We have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. And this match, I felt like lived up to the hype. Mainly because it was a hell of a... Granted, Roman... I feel like Roman... They try to make... overcompensate for Roman looking strong. And I want to... And there's a reason why I want to say this, why I feel like they overcompensate for Roman looking strong. Because he was in control the majority of the match. Seth Rollins hardly got really any offense in. I feel like Rollins was mostly on defense the whole match. Okay, you guys can disagree with me. That's why I felt like Rollins was on defense most of the match. You know, Reigns had the majority of the offense in, and there was multiple times through this match I felt like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this match seriously going to end on countout? Or disqualification, even? And I'm only saying that because just look at the way, just go watch the match start to finish. I feel like there's some kind of flow there where it seemed like something funny was going to happen like that. But, yeah. I don't know, again, I like this match. I mean, Rollins had a hell of a counter to the spear when he did the fucking pedigree, the mid-air pedigree. He just jumped straight up with the spear and pedigreed Reigns. That was fucking a beautiful counter to the spear. I'm pretty sure Triple H has done that before, but that just looked fucking beautiful. I don't know. But, yeah. You know, and the outcome of this match really surprised me, and this is why. But again, this match was hardly back and forth, but it was still a good match, and it was something that I felt like that it was going to be. Now, here's the reason why I'm going to say they overcompensate for Roman to look strong, because the winner of this match was Seth Rollins. And now, some of you be like, well, how is that making Roman look strong? Blah, 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 blah. Well, because what happened next after Seth Rollins won. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I fucking marked out because, I don't know, I was like, oh shit, Seth Rollins won, goddamn. But, because I don't think anyone's expecting Rollins to really win. I mean, I think a lot of people expecting Ambrose to win Money in the Bank, but no one was really expecting Rollins to win. Everyone was expecting Roman Reigns to possibly win clean and retain, no cash in that night. I think it's what a lot of people was expecting. Granted, it was on the back burner to remind that it was possibly going to happen. Like, you know, Ambrose was going to cash in no matter who won. But it just happened to be Rollins that won. And that's why I feel like to overcompensate for Roman looking strong, because they didn't let Roman get the cash in. They didn't let Dean get the cash in on Roman. They let Dean get the cash in on Seth. Not saying it's a bad thing, because I do feel like that makes more sense, but I feel like kind of overcompensate for trying to make Roman look strong. But at the end of the night, after the cash-in, after the successful cash-in, Dean motherfucking Ambrose is your new World Heavyweight Champion. And Cincinnati, as of the state of Ohio, as of last night, won twice. Because not only did the Cleveland Cavaliers win the NBA Finals, Cincinnati's very own Dean Ambrose won the World Heavyweight Championship. And the whole state of Ohio went wild. But seriously though. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about the pay-per-view. I fucking marked my shit when Dean Ambrose won. You should have saw me. I marked the fuck out. Because I feel like this was one of those moments where it's long overdue. I really do feel like it was long overdue for him to be champion. After all the attempts he had to become champion, this really did feel like it was long overdue. And as of 2016, the World Heavyweight Champion wears blue jeans to wrestle. But, yeah. Again, this pay-per-view, I enjoyed it. Not saying it was a bad pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. It was decent at best to me. You know, most of it was filler to me. That just seemed horrendous. But I'm not saying I didn't like it. And again, with the whole tag team match, Cena vs. Styles, the Money in the Bank, and the World Heavyweight Championship match, I felt like those matches really did help encompass the whole premise of Money in the Bank. And I really did feel like those matches really were match of all those four. I feel like were match of the night material. Some you can say otherwise. Some you can say you really don't care, but it's just these matches don't really matter. But oh well, I enjoyed it. You guys can like it, you guys do not like it. Leave me your thoughts of the pay-per-view down below. And yeah. Until next time, guys, live free and rock.